last night I attempted to move into the space where the essences and the souls had been transported during the Astroworld event. And I found myself surprised. The entity that is kind of ruling that sub-realm greeted me kindly, like warmly, like, "Hi, welcome. Would you like some cold water?" Okay, it was very proud of itself. It's a demon, negatively polarized demon, parasitic in nature. And it explained to me that the individuals, the souls, the essences that were in this space were there via their own free will choice. And he went about showing me how the operation was done. And he explained to me that he introduced himself. He said, "Look at the imagery that I placed around this event." It was demonic in nature. It was clearly parasitic and demonic. Not all demons are negatively polarized. I want to make that clear. Demons are just disembodied essences, okay? The word demon doesn't imply negativity necessarily. However, this one was indeed negatively polarized demon. Okay, this thing had full form. It wasn't just an essence anymore. It had coalesced into a fully meaningful ancient being. This thing was old. Okay.
Okay. I love that lady's videos. She's the person that I said that you should go, if you're on a deep dive down this, go on hers. If you believe in the other realms, if you believe in spiritualism, if you're not a skeptic, if you are a skeptic, go watch her videos too, because maybe you'll find something that will actually prove something. But if you are a deep diver like me, it all makes sense. I'm very much a fact checker, but I do so in the spiritual realm. I fact check everything. I will double fact check myself. To my own spiritual beliefs, I ask. And so I think another person they commented on my first video asking if I was clairvoyant. We are all of the clairs, to be clear. It is only what is most natural to you that comes the easiest. The things that come easiest to me are sight, cognizance, which is just knowing, audience, and I can feel, which is sentience. And then the one I smell sometimes, like I can actually, like when my dad would visit me, I would actually smell my father. Things like that. Certain smells come to me as a warning. Now back to her videos. She discusses meeting the entity. She's actually in the midst of negotiating, bringing some souls out. She talks about the souls she's already brought out. And I think I touched on it in my other video. She talks about how some souls, basically the entity told her, like, if they want to go with you, they can. Like, you leave, they want to go with you, they can go. She took some that wanted to go, that were probably like, oh shit, made a mistake. And then some stayed. Now, this is what I wanted to tell in the other video, and I had a brain fart. When it comes to that documentary, if you remember, there were people who they had a warning and they listened. If you I've seen also videos of people who they had a knowing, like the guy was with his girlfriend and he had just had a whole meal. He ate and they were in the section where everything happened, and he was like, he said he had a full-blown meal, and then all of a sudden he was like, I'm dead hungry, like I need to eat right now. And they were like, what the heck, you just ate? And he was like, nah, we need to go. And when he went and ate, he went and was like, nah, we're not gonna go back over there, we're gonna go over here. There were also other people who they listened to their intuition. Now, when it comes to agreeing to the situation at hand, the first thing that came to me as I was watching this, when I was thinking about that, when he told his story, was I feel like everyone that was tested in that way, that was in the situation where their life was in danger, or that just since the area that they were in. They were tested. Were you going to sign on or were you not? Some people continue to go on with the party. Other people subconsciously said no. Even though they stayed and they were still there, they were still present. The moment that they received that acknowledgement, like, what are you going to do? What are you signing on for? Are you okay with this? They listened. They did not sign on to it, and they said no. Thus, their life was saved. I'm not trying to speak for anybody that passed, but that is what I feel is what happened. Even the people whose lives were this close, like, I feel like there may have been, spiritual warfare looks different in the 3D, but there's still something happening in the spirit. I feel like there are certain things that people said no, and they understood, like, I need to say no. Like, they fought. Not saying people did not fight for their lives. Please don't come for me. But this is just me understanding the spiritual side of things and how it works. This woman is going into that realm, and she is going after the souls of some of the beings, and not everybody came with her. Let that sink in. Not everybody who passed came with her. They wanted to stay. So there was a choice involved to some degree. And I know for people who are not spiritual, that is hard to hear. But everything you do is a choice. Your spirit, your soul makes a choice. And that does not mean that they, like, again, there might be people who want, I'm going to be careful what I say, because not everybody is ready to hear that kind of thing, and not everybody is open to understanding that point of view. But you can see the miracles that happened to those who were like, they had that moment. And it was like, I feel like that was the moment that their soul did not sign the dotted line. I don't feel like everybody was meant to have that choice. That choice was given for whatever reason it was given to those certain individuals. I feel like, people, who knows what the deals and all the good stuff, what goes on behind that. I didn't ask all those questions. My legs are hot. When I'm cooking, my energetic field literally heats up, and my legs feel like it feels like a heater is on my legs right now. But anyway, that being said, my heart goes out to those who passed in the situation, and people who experienced loss in this situation. Yeah, things like this happen every day. It's the Astroworld situation just brought light to it. I want you guys to also remember that energy is a thing. Duality is a thing. There is not something to be done away with when it comes to the darker realm, right? That's not going away. That is something that is a choice. That is something that is there. That is something that is a part of yin and yang. Not all of it, as she said, was demonic in nature. Not all of darkness is evil and terrible the way that we are taught or think that it is. Some of it is. It is imperative that you understand what it is that you sign on to. It is imperative also to understand the laws of the way things are carried out. This woman is able to go to the underworld, to the other realms, and have conversations with these beings, because there are, again, you have to sign on to something for it to be done to you, whether it be subconsciously, whether it be spiritual, like whatever it is within you that is saying, yes, I want this. That is what gives way to things to happen to you. You will always have that moment of like, am I going this way or that way? Am I letting this happen or not? It's almost like a knock at the door. And you have to gauge what that is. I have been visited by many different type of beings. I have felt negative beings. I have felt what energy feels like, and I have felt what being type energies feel like. Even back when I didn't understand that the clairs that I have, the gifts that I have, I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm inviting things into my home. I didn't understand what was happening. I know with harmful demonic entities, and harmful is such a weird word, because yes, things can want to be parasitic in nature. They can be parasitic in nature. But I just think we're taught to think the things that we're taught is just, and once you experience it and you see, yes, there's some things to actually have, to be aware of and have a fear and understand the possibility. But when you stand firm and just don't be afraid and just look, like I've literally felt beings in my presence and have been like, what is this? Okay, what do I do? And just follow my intuition, and it left my presence. Everyone has duality. There will also be dark entities that root for you, because you are a dual being. You are light and dark. So every every dark being that is in your presence does not wish harm on you. They are actually a part of, your team, so to speak. Out of time.